Good evening, everyone. Time now for the tropical update, and this is a look at Tropical Storm Burl as of now. This is what it's looking like. Folks, this storm is blowing my mind. I'm just going to be honest with you. The way that it's blowing up, the winds have increased since I made the last video. And it's looking like it could now turn into a hurricane. Let's go check it all out. Okay, before we get to Burl, I want to, where the little yellow X is up here in our neck of the woods, I noticed something today. It was a shower, the sun was out, little teeny nitty fine rain I tell you guys to look for with the sun out, and then poop, it quits. Well, it was a little pocket of rain actually coming off of this thing. It should not be anything to alarm anybody up and down the eastern seaboard, though. But if you see some of these showers with the sun out and just little fine sprinkles, stuff like that, it's little pockets that's coming off of this. Now, it's a weak low pressure system. It's located a few hundred miles west-southwest of Bermuda, and it's producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. Environmental conditions appear conducive for some development through the end of the week, while the system moves west-northwestward and then northward at about 10 miles per hour off of the North Carolina coast. Now, the low is forecast to interact with a frontal system on Sunday, which should limit any additional development. 30% now in 2 days, 40% in 5 days, and you guys have seen in the regular general weather news the system moving on down, and it's going to make it go just like this. It should not bother us, but crazy things are happening. This little fella right here isn't a little fella anymore. Right now, this is Tropical Storm Burl, okay? The winds now are 50 miles per hour. They've jumped up just since I made my last video. And the pressure keeps going down. The minimum central pressure, 1,004 millibars. It's located, if you're tracking it, 10.3 north, 42.8 west, and it's moving at 16 miles per hour. Now, here's something really caught me by surprise, okay? I said, tropical storm, probably hurricane, no. Well, I was wrong there. Look at here. 2 a.m. come Saturday morning, Burl should be Hurricane Burl, not tropical storm. Then by that afternoon, it's going to intensify until it gets to this dry air, okay? And it's going to intensify enough now that the dry air and even the shear winds is looking like tropical storm strength winds. And who knows what the rain will be at this point. We'll have to check a little further down, say like tomorrow, okay? Not today, it's too early tomorrow, to see how much rain this thing kind of categorizes around it and gets built up. But it still looks like maybe some of these islands, and I'm thinking around Martinique now, okay? It's changed a little bit. There's no warnings or advisories up at the moment, but I'm pretty sure at some point, if it stays the way it is now, you guys in the islands, you're going to get some, okay? So just be aware of it. Don't be afraid. Be prepared. Do not be scared. Be prepared, because it should. The winds are going. It's going to encounter shear winds. It's going to encounter dry air. What's happening is it's moving fast, and the shear winds and the dry air systems aren't moving as fast as this is right now. That's why it's building up. Boom, 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 boom. But once it gets to a certain point, it should ease on down, okay? But there you have it. Right there, you can see. Okay, as of right now, you saw the picture a while ago. Burl, Tropical Storm Burl, it's not a huge storm. It's a tiny storm. Nevertheless, it's a tropical storm, okay? And like I just said, there's no coastal watches or warnings in effect right now. Now, the center at 5 p.m. was located near latitude 10.3 north, longitude 42.8 west. And of course, it's moving to the west at around 16 miles per hour, okay? A fast westward to west-northwestward motion is expected through the weekend, and on the forecast track, as we've looked at, the center of Beryl will remain east of the Lesser Antilles through Sunday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 50 miles per hour with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is forecast, and Beryl has a good chance to become a hurricane by tomorrow or Saturday. Now, Beryl is forecast to degenerate into open trough areas, okay, into an open trough just east of the Lesser Antilles over the weekend. It's a tiny storm, but it's got tropical storm force winds, and they extend outward and up to around 35 miles from the center. And like I say, the pressure keeps dropping. It's 1004 millibars, or regular barometer readings like everyone's used to, 29.65. I wanted to share this with you guys. It looks like I'm not the only one that it's just hard to believe how fast this thing blew up. Looks like the Hurricane Center wasn't expecting it either. Here's their key messages. 1. Due to its very small size, there is greater than usual uncertainty in the analysis of Beryl's current intensity. Confidence in the official intensity forecast is also much lower than normal. Rapid changes in intensity, both up and down, that are difficult to predict are possible during the next couple of days. Well, now you see why I'm telling you, do not be afraid, be prepared. Who knows, folks, it may blow up, it may go on and fizzle out. I'm just showing you what it's looking like right now. Number 2, while Beryl is still expected to dissipate as a tropical cyclone by Monday before reaching the Lesser Antilles, there will likely be some rain and wind impacts on those islands early next week. Residents there should monitor products and like your local weather office for more information. Well, that's what I've told them to do too. Well, now the National Weather Hurricane Center is saying the same things. What do I think? I think, folks, you're going to get a little wind and you're going to get some rain. How much rain, I do not know yet. I need to watch and go over some things tomorrow for that. Whether it will dissipate completely before it gets there, I'm not going to say it is. It might. It depends on how the winds tear it apart, and it depends on if it does reach that hurricane strength as the National Hurricane Center thinks it might. All these things have to work in together. Tomorrow we should have a much better picture of all of that information. And as soon as I kind of am able to nail it down a little better, you can't nail it down right now. The thing's changing too fast. I'll be sure and put it up for you. I want to show you one more quick thing. And that, my friend, is this particular model. Everybody who has ever followed me since last year hurricane season knows I really like the TVCN forecast model. It puts everything together. We're looking now off of my coast. This is where this little area is located right now. It shouldn't turn into anything. Let's hope it don't, because if not, look at here. It's coming right straight up to my area. But it should go off, as we see some of these little rain showers like I were talking about earlier with the sun out, just little fine nitty drizzle rain, and then poof, they're gone, and then you might run in some more. That's because they're coming from this. As you can see, they're out in here, and that's why they're coming in from the east for the most part. Now, these storms from the west, that's real rain. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the little fine rain that doesn't last long and then you might run into another patch. So we've got this one taken care of. And this is so tightly compacted, I'm going to make it bigger. But the black line is the model that I really like to go by. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. And here we go. Tropical storm, tropical storm, tropical storm. And it does have it as a hurricane. And that is this coming up Saturday. This coming up Saturday. I don't know if it will click on it or not. Let me see what it's saying. I want to see. And we got it going. 75 mile per hour winds. So that should be a category 1. Category 1 around 2 a.m. Saturday morning. It should be a hurricane with 75 mile per hour winds. Then after that, here it is on Saturday. Next point's tropical storm, and that is around 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, so it does begin to die down. We'll move across some. I'm still not sure it's going to die all the way down before it hits the islands, though. And then here we are right in here. Then by 2 p.m. on the 8th, Sunday, it's got 60 mile per hour winds. So see, it's dying down. But this is a pretty high-end tropical storm at this point, okay? 60 mile per hour winds, so you know the gusts are going to be a little more. So far as the rain, can't knock it down yet. Can't tell you about how much rain to expect with this. And you see it's not really that far going between Martinique and Dominica, all right? Now it's split in 2 ways. I think that's because they're waiting to see what the shear wind and the dry air and the steering currents for the main point, the steering currents, how it may affect this. Okay, so you're going to get effects anyway. 60 mile per hour winds, you're going to feel it all over the place, okay, in this area. And then of course it should dwindle on down, hopefully, as it starts to approach a little bit south of Puerto Rico, and at some point, if it didn't change its track, it may hit some parts of the Dominican Republic. So that's what it's looking like right now. Everybody be safe. Once again, do not be scared or worry, just be prepared. Be prepared, my friends, and look, I'm going to check everything as best as I can. I will not make another report tonight, but that's what it's looking like now. The one thing that's got me, and now I see the National Hurricane Center's kind of in a roundabout way admitting it too, this thing has blown up so fast to be such a tiny area that it covers. It blows my mind, okay? Be safe, people. I'll keep you informed. You just be prepared. It should not get over a category 1, but you're still going to have some winds, I believe, in the islands, and the National Hurricane Center says it should dissipate before it gets there. Well, let's hope it does, because if it doesn't, you are going to get some winds. Have a good evening. I love you. Please subscribe, click the bell, get all the latest in weather news, forecasts, watches, warnings, alerts, and tropical weather. Okay? I want to get this out because I like to try to keep people safe as I can. You know I do. I've been doing this for a long time now, and that's my main thing, trying to keep people safe and aware. Make sure you've got your plans, your kits, your animals taken care of. Make sure you've got everything taken care of now. You know this thing is building. You know there is the greatest possibility and the chance, and it is looking like it is going to be a hurricane. You see how close it is to the islands right in here, and it's still got 60 mile per hour winds in the forecast. Take all of this in. And anybody in the States, if you've got anybody traveling, I know it's summertime, everybody's buzzing around, going down to the islands, this and that, anybody on a cruise or this or that or the other, please make sure they know about this and share this information, okay? You take care. You have a good evening. I do love you all. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. And I will see you in the morning with the good Lord's will. Peace, love, and kindness to all.